In order to determine the cause of your bizarre visions, I'm going to probe that part of your brain that stores memories and project them onto the screen. All right, let's start oscillating.
I am here to talk about Raven's Home once again. Now, these next three, this was a 3-part episode, and it was good. I'm not contemplating because this 3-part was on the same level as episode 3, all 3 of them. Now, if you told me which one do you prefer out of the 3, well, episode 3 had more of an emotional stake. So episode 3 is the best. I'll say episode 3, episode 1, and episode 2. But I'm gonna start with episode 1. But I still might go out of order.
Alright then. On with the show.
So, Levi in these episodes was just killing it. He had so many remarks. There was one part where he was talking to Booker when Booker got his first frozen vision, and Booker told Levi, you got stuck, and Levi's like, you gonna leave me hanging? And Booker's like, when did this become about you? Levi's like, I'm the one hanging from the sky. He didn't say sky, but he's like, so I might die, so of course this concerns me. So and we got the returning Sleevemore. Sleevemore. Remember I said out of order, so we'll get back to Levi later. Sleevemore, the guy from Raven's Home. That's a Raven. Like that character. He returned. I wouldn't say conveniently, but maybe he took Raven's scooter Uber thing just to, Raven does Uber now? Let me go meet her. So I guess that's how a good way for him to show up. In any of these episodes, how come Sleevemore didn't ask about Raven's life? I'm not saying he should have. Like saying, are you still friends with Chelsea? Or you still friends with Eddie? How's your life going? Maybe he told her off screen, like, y'all probably like, does it really matter? No, not really. I thought it was kind of odd he didn't ask her. The Clay, in episode 1 of this 3-part, Raven was doing some paintings, and there was one part where you saw some kind of clay thing, and I don't know, maybe it's not related, but I just thought of the clay from That's a Raven when Chelsea did it, and then Raven ended up having to do take the position of the clay, and Eddie had to feed her. Miles, the guy who looks like a young Corbin Blue from Jumpin', that's my favorite Disney movie. He has the power because Dr. Sleevemore has a place with people who have psychic visions, but they all have their own interpretation of it. And Miles has the power of suggestion, and he basically can make you do whatever he wants. I want him to come back. I think he was kind of good. However, I think the forced romance with him and Nia was so forced. They could have built up to it. Not build up to it. Like, I hope there's some repercussions from this afterwards. Otherwise, it's like you just waste my time with this Nia and Miles romance BS. But I like his powers. Like I said, the Levi remarks. There was another one. Levi told Nia to put the helmet back on, and so Dr. Sleevemore said, put this helmet on, Nia, so we could, analyze the vision and stuff. And just the way Levi said, put the helmet back on, that was funny.
Levi, what do I do? Put the helmet back on?
This is why I like Levi. His funny remarks, man. There was another one. It was episode 2 of the 3-part episode. Raven said, is it a crime? Is it a crime to protect your kids? Levi's like, yes.
Really, Levi? What is this breaking in thing you keep talking about?
I mean, is it really a crime for a mother to want to protect her kids?
Yes.
Levi with your remarks, man. When Nia and Booker had the helmets on, they had this side little plot about them being at a school announcement. Booker was doing all these things, and then Nia would do it. Well, a little error, continuity error. Booker went under his left arm, and Nia went under her right armpit. So Nia, you was wrong. That's a production mistake, I guess. So continuity error. The nerd stuff. I'm tired of that nerd stuff. the person who doesn't understand the person, speaking all sciencey. Oh, 5 plus 6 and 7 is or equals at the least. And then the person will be like, I have no idea what you just said, or can you speak English? I'm tired of that. And even Levi, come on. Oh, I speak a little nerd. But honestly, I think this whole 3-part episode could have a build up to it. Maybe like episode 6 of the season, Booker gets a frozen vision, but he thinks nothing of it, right? And then as it keeps building up, he freezes for the first time, and then that's when this 3-part episode starts. I hope Booker and Nia learn from this and stop arguing more. I'm pretty sure, or at least less often, And at the end of episode 1, Raven said, "Oh, Zach," because there was this 1-second kid who I guess doesn't like type of music, or I forgot it is, but her psychic stuff was shooting her vision powers at her because it goes to anything metal. I was gonna ask, how did Booker's vision into Nia, and how come nobody saw it go into Nia's eyes? But, it was explained in episode 3, so it doesn't really matter. Episode 2, since Booker lost his visions, right? He could do stuff that he couldn't do before he got the visions the first time. I mean, he could build chairs and boats, canoes. He could dance now, even though that was a stunt double, but still. Well, he did dance. Remember, he used to dance in the pilot when he said, "Oh, I got my moves from da-da-da," but Raven in the pilot said, "You got your dancing for me," So, I thought this would have been a perfect time with Booker in the bucket. Remember, because Booker would always get a bucket stuck on his head, and I thought this would have been the perfect time for Booker to say, "Oh, look, I don't have a bucket on my head anymore," I thought that would have been a perfect time to make it come full circle to finally end the bucket thing. Well, maybe not pull it full circle, but you get my point. I hope the Booker in the bucket comes back again. Tess was Sam. Tess was Sam because she was telling Nia to keep her powers, at least for a short time, because I know Sam would definitely tell her that, and I'm pretty sure Sam did say that one time to Carly, like, said, "Oh, maybe you should keep it, or steal it." Tess was Sam in these episodes, and she's still doing basketball, remember, because that's been her thing since the pilot. She plays basketball, so at least we still get the consistency of that, so that's good. If Nia does get powers, maybe when Nia got Booker's visions, it jumpstart her own visions in her body. She had the VNA or whatever the lady said, Dr. Sleevemore's granddaughter. Where was the mother? Doesn't matter. But if Nia gets her own powers, right? I think it's time to give her her own color, because I think Raven has purple, Booker has purple. So if Nia gets visions, she should get her own color. Michael B. Jordan, my man Michael B. Jordan is just being reckless. First he's Superman, kinda, or at least want to be, and all these Michael B. Jordan comments are so funny, Levi, when Levi got fat, because like I said, Booker could do all this stuff he couldn't do before he got the vision the first time. He cooked, right? He cooked all this fancy bread, and Levi was just eating and eating. He got fat. He kind of got the Scooby-Doo fat, where all of it, because he turned the corner, then he comes right back out, and he's all fat now. It's like, wait, what? That make no sense. Not sense. But either way, he loses it because pretty much all that stomach was gas. And then we'll talk about the fart joke later. Actually, hold us right here. The fart joke. Raven said, "You're nasty." She brought it back because Raven Simone said she didn't like the "you're nasty" catchphrase. I was like, get out of here. That's my favorite one. And Chelsea. What the? No, we'll get to Chelsea later. Oh no. Levi. In episode 2, Raven thought Dr. Sleevemore was stealing Booker's visions, and she was typing on the computer with 2 fingers. I mean, I do type like that sometimes. I get a point. That way she don't mess up the words. But Levi's like, get the hell out the way, and he just types in, "Done." Wow, there you go. And she also did the intro catchphrase. Yep, that's me.
Yep, that's me.
Yep, that's me.
They finally brought back the original intro catchphrase. And of course, on the computer, it shows Raven doesn't get visions right. Well, Dr. Sleevemore needs to put that on Booker's resume. Booker doesn't get visions right, or he doesn't get context of his visions. So Dr. Sleevemore, you better put that in Booker's file. And Dr. Sleevemore and all his characters better come back eventually. Like throughout the seasons. Like, so they better return to season 3, or one more episode in season 3, and then 4, 5, 6. I think Raven's Home is gonna go 10 seasons. You know, I think so. Leslie, another character. She's pretty much the goth girl, you know, and she's a better goth girl than Rocky from Full House or Fuller House. You know, better version of her. And I like how Raven decided to invite everybody onto the roof. And of course Raven said, "Oh, I didn't get the context of my vision right. I got it wrong again." And then Levi says, "Yep, that's you." And then Raven did the other catchphrase. This is when Nia was like telling Tess, "I stole Booker's visions." And then Raven went down, like, cause she's afraid of heights. She went up to Nia's, you know, window, and then she fell, and she said, "I am not okay." That was one of our other catchphrases.
Oh, what do you think? Something's gonna fall right out of the clear blue sky? I am not okay.
And she did at the end of the episode say, "My bad." You know, that's one of our other catchphrases. So many catchphrases in here. Episode 3. Nia told everybody that everything that's happening is because of me. And I'm saying, "No, Nia, it's not because of you. It's because of Tess. Nia, it's not your fault. It's Tess's fault." Since Booker lost his visions, it went into Mitch. You know, and he did his, I guess that's his signature catchphrase. Loser. That's his catchphrase. Or is it, is it you loser, or is it just loser? Either way, it has loser in it, so that's his catchphrase. We got a side of Mitch we never saw before. Like, he had a George Washington outfit for some reason. Like, I think we should get a Mitch origin story. Not origin story, but a centric episode about Mitch. You know, so we could get to learn more about him. You know, and his father, bring back the father, you know. Levi, one of his remarks, when Levi saw Mitch in the George Washington outfit, he's like, "What, the founding father?" That was funny. One of his others. Levi. Can we get a Levi-centric episode? This guy is funny. Best character in the That's So Raven's Home, Koi in the House universe. Which reminds me, I saw Lily Pond's video. Koi is in Lily Pond's. Can y'all get Koi in? Well, actually, we'll wait till the dad episode, because the dad's gonna come back. I'm pretty sure he's gonna talk about Koi. Like, is he the president now? So we'll wait for that. So, Tess. I think Tess should have gotten the powers, at least for a short time. Like, oh, this is what it feels like to be psychic. Like, because I think Tess would use the visions for her own benefits. But, like, she'll still help people, maybe just for her friends, but, like, she'll use it for her own benefits. And Chelsea, now we will get to Chelsea. Chelsea, I think I know why Chelsea, it's not been much used in this season. Maybe she couldn't, like, film this much this season or something. But in terms of the story, like, the reason Chelsea wasn't in here is because she got money. She somehow got money. That's convenient. Somehow got money to visit her other college friends. Who are other college friends? Maybe we'll learn later on. Was it Eddie? Maybe not. But Raven, of course Raven couldn't go with her because somebody would have need to watch the kids. Or maybe Raven could have gone with Chelsea and they could have gotten the babysitter. And what babysitter? The scary babysitter. That person right there. But, you know, of course, Raven probably doesn't have enough money. But she still has that $10,000. But Chelsea, like I said, what are y'all doing with her? And I think in season 1, I mentioned this, that in 2 years from now, I think season 3 is going to be about Chelsea and the husband getting out of jail. Because remember, the husband went to jail for some crime or something. And his girlfriend, not Chelsea, but his girlfriend was a cop and put him in jail. And he's going to get out. So I think that's why Chelsea's going to get more of a prominent role in season 3. Like, maybe, like, somehow Levi and Booker's visions are going to tie into the husband, you know. So, pretty much, that's why. I think that's why Chelsea hasn't been used much that season. So, if Chelsea was in this episode, I think Chelsea should have gotten the powers as well. Pretty much like a whole lot of different people should have gotten Booker's visions. That would have been cool. And if Chelsea did get in the powers, the vision powers, she's going to finally know how it feels, because she's been wanting to know what visions are like since high school, you know, when Eddie gotten the powers. So, like, I think it's time. 20 years later, 15 years later, either way, sometime down the road, Chelsea better get psychic powers. I don't care. Somehow. The dynamic between... We had this heart-centric scenes between Raven and Sleevemore. Like, Sleevemore was telling Raven about her fears and hopes, and he gave her some goggles. And Raven was like, you know, I should review my visions if Booker doesn't get his. I was like, no, you bet not. You bet not. Otherwise, you better change the name from Raven's home to Booker's home. But then again, you do own the home, so never mind. But I hope the series finale comes full circle with Raven's fears and hopes. Because Raven's hopes is become a fashion designer. I've been wanting that since, well, pretty much the beginning of season 2, maybe even season 1. And her fears was for Booker to stay home till he's like 30. Well, that's not the fear, but that's one of the fears. Yeah. So maybe in the series finale of Raven's home, her fears and hope is a combination. Like, so it comes full circle. And that's it. Yeah, Raven's home. Better come full circle. But I'm gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna say goodbye. Oh, I just remembered one thing. Raven should have said, Dr. Sleevemore, you better get my baby's visions, or you're gonna get it. Bye.
Very interesting, Raven.